Hi, hello, and good evening. It is December 12th. I forgot the date. And we are discussing the season finale of The Amazing Race. I mean, obviously, like, not a whole lot to say here. A quick recap. We just want to put a button on it, put a little button on top. Yeah, so let's do it. Boy, I'll tell you, watching that theme, it's like watching, the March of the Fallen Soldiers. You see what I did there? Like March of the Wooden Soldiers, because
I see.
it is a seasonal,
a Thanksgiving staple in the Morgino household.
It is a seasonal funsie. So you're welcome. You're welcome. This is Strat Chat, and I'm Kyle Petty. All right, yeah, that's who I am. I'm joined by my festy besties, John Dunphy and Gina Morgino. And this is Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. You can find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod or on our website at stratchatpod.com. Okay, so now, The Amazing Race 34 finale. This took place in Nashville. All right. That's all. It opened up with a little challenge here. Whiskey business. Get it? Whiskey business. You had to label and pack 30 bottles of whiskey for shipment. And once it passes quality control, you get a clue. Okay, one person has to label and the other one packs. Our labelers were Claire, Michelle, and Emily, leaving Derek, Lewis, and Molly to pack. Okay, 30 bottles coming on down the belt here. This wasn't very thrilling. Looked like Claire had some troubles. Michelle had some troubles. Like whatever. Lewis said, what are you doing? Look, so-and-so's doing better. Whoever they are, I don't know who I'm looking at whenever I'm looking. When I wrote these notes,
there's always so much going on. Yeah.
Yes, I had to go back a million times. I don't know who's who. I can't look at them and say. So whatever. I guess that was the only excitement over in the whiskey business. So they all leave. Emily and Molly missed a turn for the parking. Okay, for the parking they were looking for. So that means Derek and Claire got there first. This is only the beginning of Emily and Molly's navigational issues on this leg. Okay, all right, so we'll see them in distress again later.
I'm not in distress.
We'll see them in distress again later. But then they were faced with their first roadblock. This is climb and rappel. Right, this saw our racers climbing up the side of, well, what I assume is a famous Nashville bridge. I didn't care to go back.
This was it was the Korean War Veterans Memorial Bridge.
Sure.
I guess that sounds like something I should know. So thank you, John. So they would go up this bridge, the one that he said, to receive a clue in the form of a guitar pick. Okay, and then they had to rappel back down to their partners. I would not have done this.
Never in a million years would I be doing this.
Yeah. Unless you're stuck, because we understand, right? We're new to the race, but we do understand that you can only, it's like supposed to be 6 and 6 or whatever the situation is. So I guess at this stage, whoever did it had to do it.
Self-eliminating. Yeah. Not doing it. Not gonna happen.
No. In that case, I would at least give it a go. But it would not be. It would not be a good. It would not be a good show.
I would get like 2 feet off the ground and be like, nope, I take it back. No more.
I think it's horrifying.
I can't even imagine like what the view must be like from up there. Oh, it's probably so good.
I'm sure it's gorgeous, and I loved watching it from the comfort of my couch on my computer.
Yeah, this is. I don't know. I do agree. I think the view would be amazing, but I don't know that I could get there. You'd have to find some way to drop me down by helicopter or something. Not that I'd get in the helicopter either, because I really wouldn't trust that.
Yeah, who are we kidding? I'm not getting
a couple little propellers supposed to keep me in the air. Like, I don't know. We're gonna need a little bit more. Gonna need a little bit more than that. But Derek was the climber along with Michelle and Emily. Oh well. I had a side note here. I had a little funny thing here but I forgot to do it. So, oh well. Claire made a comment.
Hold on, wait. I need the funny side note.
Well, I'm going to give you the funny side note, but it's just not gonna hit the same way. There was a moment during this while Emily and Molly were arriving, but Lewis and Michelle were already there. And like, they were getting strapped up and everything. And Claire, I guess, in an attempt to motivate Derek, says, "Come on, Derek, you can do this faster than Michelle."
Oh.
Right? And it was like right in front of them. And I remember watching this and I went, "Oh," I was like, "Aren't they right there?" And the camera turns. This is worth going back for. It's a good chuckle. The camera
I don't remember this.
And there's a crew person standing there. And he's looking at the camera and he's just like, it's so funny.
I missed that.
Like, I took a picture of it and I was going to share it with you, but I didn't get prepared soon enough, so it's too late. But
man,
going back for this is at the very beginning of Climb and Rappel, when Emily and Molly are arriving. Again, Claire says, "Come on, Derek, you can do this faster than Michelle," and it's just one of those things like, "Ooh, they're right there." Yes, so anyways, so that was the side note. That was that. Made a note. Derek didn't seem to have an issue realizing the guitar case had the clues in it. Yeah,
it was so funny how many people, there's only 2 other people, but how much they did have an issue with it. Like, if I climb all the way up this bridge and there's just a guitar case, I'm like, that's probably not usually there.
Right.
Like, no one really thought twice about it.
Right, especially in the theme of what The Amazing Race is. Like, that whatever clue or anything that you might happen upon would have to do with the culture in the area in which you are in. So a guitar case in Nashville would be like, I might want to check this out, especially if I just climb to the top of a bridge. Like, why would there be a guitar case?
Right, why would there just always be a guitar case sitting there?
It's like there has to be a reason for this, right?
Right? Like, wouldn't just be up there. Like, musicians don't just go up there to like chill.
You just see some guy up at the top of a bridge, like ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. No, they're not usually up there.
On the dock of the bell. It's not a dock. It's not anything. It's nowhere near the bay. I could be. I don't know. Stop. I don't know things like this. I don't know topography.
Okay, SAT word.
I don't even know it's right. Anyway, so Emily gets to the top before Michelle. A shocking twist. Says Lewis, eagerly anticipating. I said Michelle seemingly in distress, very exhausted, trying to pull up more than walking. She tired herself out. That's what I said here. Emily gets her clue. She rappels back down. What?
I felt bad for Michelle here. She really this roadblock gave her some troubles.
Poor little thing wasted so much time and so much physical energy doing it the harder way.
Yeah.
Actually, she was never cuter than the fact that she was being so polite to let Emily go back down, and she was just waiting when she could have been.
She was like,
herself.
"I thought she had to go first, so I just waited."
Aw, sweet. So
I love them, Michelle and Lewis.
And then can we also then mention how very supportive Lewis was when she came down last? There was no attitude. It was like, "You did great. You did great." And she's like,
and both of them are always that. That's just
right.
I've never not seen that, and I love that.
Mm-hmm. My partner would have ripped me up. Like, what are you doing? Just standing up there.
And like, I can't say that I would have been that support system either. I'd be like, "Hurry up! What the hell are you doing?"
Doesn't it really just speak about Gina too, who wouldn't even attempt this, but would be screaming at her partner on their way down?
I don't need to be attacked on my own podcast.
I wouldn't try it, but how dare you just be standing there? You decided to go up there, then you come down. So silly. So the guitar pick sent us to the Gibson garage, and they asked many friends on the street to help them find it. And that found us to our next challenge here our dual challenge. Everybody participates, team play, all in on Gibson guitar delivery. This saw our racers delivering 3 guitars to musicians at different honky tonks around Lower
That's right.
Broadway. And once they were done, they will get tickets to the Municipal Auditorium. Okay. Derek and Claire got there first, and as they are leaving, that's when Lewis and Michelle show up. Apparently, they knew some racers in there. Apparently, they were all stars. We don't know them, but thanks for showing up in the finale. Thanks for hanging.
It was also so funny because like it didn't seem like Claire and Derek knew who they were, but
I
the
had no
moment
idea.
Lewis and Michelle came in, they were like, "We know you."
Yeah. And Derek and Claire were like, "Yeah, hi. Yeah, we don't know you. We were."
She
were
was like,
playing Big
"Wow, they're
Brother."
singers. So fun."
Hi, very cute. Very cute. Very in line with the race. This is very on brand. Silly. But yeah, so Lewis and Michelle ended up getting their second, and this is really as a result of Emily and Molly's second navigational flarn. Yes, they found themselves. They could not find the destination, but they did find additional distress.
Additional distress.
I just really wanted to use distress again. Okay, so they delivered guitars. Whatever. That's all there is to say about that. It was heavy. Ha ha ha. Laugh laugh. There was a funny comment from there was a funny comment from Emily and Molly, however, when they were running through the streets. A lot of people in the way like, excuse me, so sorry, in a race to win $1 million.
Yeah.
So
I love
Were
that.
they the ones who were like, "Hi, we're in a race to win $1 million. We're winning. Please help me. Can I use your phone?"
Yes, please help me. Yes.
You know, I have a question for you guys too about this, like being in an American city, right?
Mhm.
People asking, to use these random strangers on the street, like their phones and stuff.
Mhm.
And one thing that I had read that somebody had brought up was that, do you think that in this type of thing, obviously if you're in Europe somewhere, some other country, right? Like no one that's playing is that recognizable. But Derek and Claire were on a popular show. Like, do you think that was a big advantage to them in this sort of thing? Like, because it seemed like a couple of people were reluctant to like give their phone to like an Emily or a Molly.
Yes,
but like,
you are absolutely right. I did think this, and I didn't make
I was
a note
thinking
of
about
it.
it
You're
too,
right.
like especially in this episode, I was like, this could never happen in New York City. Like, no one is gonna be like, "Yeah, take my phone and look up direction." Like, it just wouldn't happen.
Right.
And I did notice that there were people more so in this episode than any other that were reluctant to help out. But I definitely do think that like the recognizability question mark of Derek and Claire would have given them an advantage over the others.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think it also does help a little bit that there has to be some cameras and things around. Like there are people.
And like they are holding the Amazing Race card with like all the information on it too.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But then I would also still be nervous to give you my phone because, like, what if this isn't, and what if this is like some prank thing, and you take my phone? You think it's
some
really funny?
elaborate scheme,
right?
to just
Because
get
I'm
people's
not going to
phones.
find that very funny. Yeah. But no, I definitely did think that because it did look like some people gave some pause to giving their phone to Emily and Molly. So
Right.
but it's Derek and Claire. There was no hesitation. Like, oh yeah, here you go.
And
it
it
seemed
there
like
was
people
cheering
were
too. I heard a lot of
cheering.
Yeah.
So yeah, just curious what you thought about that.
That's interesting. So everyone then arrives to the very last challenge, which was Keys to Success, which saw like a huge piano on the floor there. Now, each key on the piano plays a note and displays a picture. Putting the pictures in chronological order based on when each team raced there will put the notes in order to play the theme to the Amazing Race. This looked like absolute hell.
It looks so complicated.
Yeah, it looks very complicated. There's absolutely no way I remember anything. Like, other than that cube, there was no picture that I saw on there that even like rang a single bell. Now, granted, I didn't.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't seen any of these places.
Right. I mean, we didn't actually get there.
The Mega Leg one, I recognized pretty quickly because it was like a postcard that they got. But yeah, most of them I would have gotten tripped up thinking that it was some other place or something like that. And then the fact that they only had 11 seconds to actually do this, like, oh my God.
Oh, nightmare. Claire and Derek got there first. And then Michelle and Lewis, and then Emily and Molly. The only majorly noteworthy thing here that I saw, Lewis and Michelle not knowing that the black keys were keys. That hurt. That hurt to see. And when I saw that, I said, well, that's that.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah. I was a little surprised that Michelle, like, I know that she's a dancer, not a musician, but I feel like,
Right, that doesn't mean it's a transferable skill, you know?
right. But I just feel like when you're, in a dance studio and like people, I feel like she's been around a piano probably enough as a dancer that I would have thought that, like, you're counting, music and beats and this and that. And I just feel like, I don't know. I was just a little surprised that Michelle wasn't as, up to speed with this one.
Yeah.
Love her to death, though. Love her.
I was
death.
also. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when I first learned like about a piano or anything. I mean, I didn't really know piano. But we did have a miracle piano growing up. Remember miracle pianos? They were for video
I don't
game
know.
systems and for PC. It was like you plug the keyboard into like the video. It was like a video game, and it taught you how to play piano. That's how I learned how to play
I
Heart
did
and
not
Soul
know
Melody.
this.
Do 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 do. Like I can do that because of the miracle piano. So like maybe that's how I learned that the
Aw.
black keys were something, but I don't know. I always thought that a lot of just people knew that. So really, really sad to see that, this is what tripped them up, because
I
we love them
know.
so much. But at no point did their attitude ever get stale. Like, can we also mention that? I would have been so freaking pissed off, like, over this. Like, I would have been furious.
Yeah.
Like, I would have found this whole challenge absolutely maddening. And at no point were it was just like, okay, all right, we're just so happy to be here
Right.
and having a good time.
They were
with the show.
thriving from the first episode, just having a grand old time.
Just so
It's like-
refreshing.
Even as you got to the moment where, like, okay, the suspense is gone because you know that Lewis and Michelle aren't going to win. Like, it was still just fun to watch them. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It was like we know as the audience, like, they might think they still have a chance because wherever they have to go after this, maybe Derek and Claire will get lost, or Molly and Emily will get lost, or whatever. Like, even when they were the last people at this challenge, they didn't know. We knew, but like, it was still just so much fun to watch them. Like,
Right.
They're just so
Yeah.
endearing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh.
they're like, of all the shows that we watch, and I feel like the list always continues to grow, right? Whether it's The Challenge or The Amazing Race or Survivor or Big Brother, and it's versions in this country or any other country. Like, I feel like the list just keeps growing on the shows that we watch. The Mole now. Lewis and Michelle, these two people are, I think, at the very, very top of like my favorite people that I've ever seen compete on like any of these shows. They're the sweetest people, and I would love to watch them on any other show.
I hope we get to.
Or back on this one. If they had some kind of all-stars thing and they brought them back, I would love to see Lewis and Michelle.
Do they
on the Amazing
typically
Race
have
again.
returning players on Amazing Race?
Yeah, that was the whole reason why Lewis and Michelle knew them. Oh, I guess that doesn't really because they came from an all-star season.
Oh, got it. Right.
Yeah.
They did do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if
Yeah.
they like just do it like in a regular one, like the way Survivor likes to mix some people in, but we don't know that. We don't know. It's still new to us. But congratulations to Derek and Claire for winning the race.
Mom and Dad.
Yes, which means Gina's got another winner
Yeah.
pick. Okay.
Congratulations. That's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
I knew I trusted Mom and Dad to take this home for me.
Yeah. Strat Chat picks another. I am the only one to not get anything correct.
You've never gotten one? That can't be true.
No, I'm an absolute loser.
You're not a loser.
Really?
Yeah.
Not one?
It's
No,
literally
of
all
my
luck.
predictions fail. At the second I endorse someone, their next boot.
No.
Beware of
Listen.
my kiss of death.
Listen, I had a track
No.
record for a really long time that my Big Brother winner pick was always the first boot. So you know what?
Yeah, I'm not faring too hot. I'm still in the challenge. I still have a horse in that race.
Yeah, I'm out of that. So
But I'm basically out of Australia.
You got one. You still got one.
Hanging on, my girl, Brooke J. But But anyway, so that's that on the Amazing Race. Emily and Molly finished second, which, you know, honestly, congratulations to them. There was so much centered around the knee
It was
injury.
Emily's knee. Emily's knee.
Oh, thank God, yes. Um, around the knee. And we didn't know how that was going to turn out. And she still made it to the end. What a champ. What an absolute champ.
The
Yeah.
fact that there was that one point where they were like, "Oh, it's gonna be a foot race," and she was like, "All right," and on her busted knee, she's like hauling
Mhm.
ass through the city. It's like, okay,
Yeah. So way to
She
go.
was a real trooper. I mean, like, especially when you consider, oh my goodness, I'm blanking on the name. What was the duo? The daughter that like just didn't like. She wanted to quit at one point.
Linton
Like
and
oh my god,
Sharik.
yup.
Linton and Sharik. That's right. And I'm like,
Mhm.
you look at that team, and then you look at Emily and Molly, and Emily just for weeks and weeks, like struggling with this knee injury. And how many times did we even say like, oh, that next on edit, like it makes it really look like Emily and Molly are struggling. This could
We
be
thought
it.
she
This
was
could
gonna
be
be
it.
Yeah.
out like 4 times.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And they never gave up. They never gave up. They finished second place. Absolutely incredible. This was what a great top three. What a
Yeah.
great top three. Just
It's wonderful.
and we could even honestly we could break it all down into top 4, top 5 too. Like there were so many teams like down at as we got into the stretch of this game that I would have been happy with so many of these different teams winning if they took it home.
And I remember saying even in the first episode, like maybe that's just this show, but I was endeared towards pretty much every single person who competed on this show on the season.
It was a great cast.
It
was a really great
wonderful
cast.
cast.
And
Yeah.
it's just a fun season. Just such a fun season.
Yeah. Well, we gotta go. I mean, so thank you to our racers. We had a great time. It was really fun covering this one. It was a hoot and a half. So thank you to this wonderful cast. And now we're switching rooms because we have to talk about Survivor. Okay. And Survivor's been wild. Also, remind me off stage, we have to talk about the Traders, the Australian version of the Traders, ahead of the American one.
I saw you posting about it.
Yeah, I started it yesterday with Thomas, and we burned through the first 7. We spent the entire day.
7.
Yeah, we really went hard. The Traders is amazing, and I can't wait to tell you more. John, did you start it?
I started episode 1. But you need to give me a break because I am sick, so I did fall asleep.
He's a
halfway
sleepy
through.
boy.
That was not due to the quality of the show, though. The show actually,
No,
I
it
really,
is
really,
not.
I like this host. I saw the cast getting to meet each other. I'm very excited to continue, and we'll probably do so once we get off after we.
That's as far as
talk
you
about
got.
Survivor.
Just the cast only met.
And then I was very, very sleepy because
Oh,
I'm
okay.
very sick.
All right. So you don't even really know how this game is played yet.
Not yet.
Oh,
But
okay.
I enjoyed this setup and watching them all like arrive at this this
You-
castle that it seems like
you
they're at.
have no idea. You have no idea. You think Australian Survivor tribals are wild? The deliberations in this are just, they go on forever. All they do is fight.
Nice.
It's like, what did you say? What did you say? It is absolutely
It's really
nuts.
like the demographics of the people that are in this cast
Oh,
too.
yes.
It is
I'm
so
telling you, oh my
wild.
god, oh my god, it is so good. It is so good. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell you more. I can't wait to talk more. Anyway, thank you, The Amazing Race. This was Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. You can find us on the social Strat Chat Pod or at our own website at stratchatpod.com. Join us in 7 minutes for Survivor 43 and Jesse's Blind Side. All right, it's gonna be a hoot. We're out of here. Thank you.